Questioning masculinity and leadership. The alpha dilemma in relationships. Unraveling the societal pressures that forge harmful alpha traits in the societal narrative that shapes men's roles within relationships and beyond. The alpha male archetype looms large. Defined by traditional notions of masculinity and leadership, this archetype not only influences how men perceive themselves and their roles, but also impacts how they are expected to interact within personal and professional spheres. This extensive analysis seeks to explore the underpinnings of these societal expectations, their connection to harmful behaviors often mistaken for alpha traits, and the stark contrast between minor acts of rebellion and serious criminal behavior. Through a reevaluation of these traditional norms, the aim is to foster a deeper understanding and encourage a healthier model of male conduct. The construction of masculinity and alpha leadership. Historical context and cultural imprints. Legacy of masculinity. Traditionally, masculinity has been associated with strength, stoicism, and leadership. These traits, while beneficial in moderation, have often been exaggerated to portray an unrealistic and unyielding figure of male dominance. Alpha male ideology. In many cultures, the alpha male is seen as the ultimate leader, commanding, competitive, and in control. This persona, often glorified in media and literature, pressures men to conform to a rigid model that equates true masculinity with dominance. Psychological and emotional impact. Emotional restriction. The pressure to adhere to these alpha traits often leads men to suppress their emotions, view vulnerability as weakness, and conceal any signs of perceived emotional frailty. Risk-taking as valor. Men are often compelled to engage in risky behaviors, including aggressive sports, reckless driving, or financial gambles, as these activities are seen as exhibitions of true masculinity. Societal expectations and relationship dynamics pressures within personal relationships. Dominance over partnership. Men often feel pressured to take a dominant role in relationships, to stifle communication and mutual understanding. This dynamic can lead to a power imbalance that undermines the foundation of partnership. Conflict and control. The alpha mandate can lead men to adopt controlling behaviors, mistakenly believing that such actions exhibit leadership. This can escalate into coercive control, where manipulation becomes a substitute for genuine interaction. Community and social interactions, peer influence. Social groups often reinforce alpha behaviors, praising men for dominance and ridiculing perceived weakness. This peer pressure can intensify harmful behaviors as men strive to uphold their alpha status. Our professional expectations. In the workplace, these dynamics play out in expectations of unyielding leadership and competition, often at the expense of collaboration and ethical conduct. Distinguishing between acts of rebellion and serious crimes. Minor acts of rebellion. Nature and motivations. Minor acts of rebellion, such as getting into fights in bars or engaging in vandalism, can be misguided attempts at asserting independence or masculinity. While problematic, these behaviors are often cries for help or attempts to conform to alpha stereotypes. Interventions. These actions require understanding and support rather than condemnation. Counseling, mentorship, and community support can redirect these energies positively. Serious criminal behaviors, greater implications. When alpha traits escalate to serious crimes such as domestic violence, sexual assault, or significant financial fraud, the consequences are far-reaching. These actions reflect a deep-seated distortion of leadership and masculinity. Legal and therapeutic responses. Addressing these behaviors necessitates a robust response, including legal action and comprehensive psychological intervention. The focus should be on rehabilitation and redefining healthy male behaviors. Reimagining masculinity in modern society educational initiatives. Redefining strength. Programs aimed at young men and boys that promote emotional intelligence, vulnerability, and cooperation as strengths can help dismantle harmful stereotypes. Community engagement involving men in community-building activities and volunteer work can provide platforms for positive leadership experiences that do not rely on dominance. Therapeutic and supportive measures. Counseling services, making mental health services accessible and acceptable for men can address the emotional suppression that fuels the alpha persona. Support networks. Building networks that offer support without judgment can encourage men to express vulnerability and seek help. Conclusion. The traditional alpha male archetype, while once revered as the epitome of masculine success, increasingly shows its limitations and dangers in modern relationships. By questioning these old paradigms and promoting a broader, more inclusive understanding of masculinity and leadership, society can help mitigate the pressures that lead men toward self-destructive behaviors. This reevaluation is not only crucial for the well-being of men, but also for the health of their relationships and the broader social fabric. Embracing a new model that values emotional openness aspect can transform personal dynamics for the better, fostering environments where men feel empowered to lead authentically and compassionately.